The Death Coast is a new show premiering tonight on USA Network.
We're all missing a few screws, obviously.
Here we go. Storm's heading our way, fellas. Whoa, boy. It's time for us to get out of here. It was insane. Johnny, do you see them? Come on.
Well, this is dramatic. The series looks at Nova Scotia's infamous Death Coast, where 25,000 shipwrecks are thought to lie off the coast. Captain Jeff McKinnon takes viewers through the perilous journey to recover lost artifacts, treasures, and other golden bounties. He's standing by live at 299 Queen West with our Gian Lee. Gee, this is like Outer Banks come to life without the pesky teenagers.
No, but you've got like tons of treasure in the Death Coast. Who knew this? I didn't even know the coast along Cape Breton was known as the Death Coast. And joining me now is Captain Jeff McKinnon.
How you doing?
Hello, Captain. I've been to Cape Breton before. I've dipped my toes in the water. I didn't know that that was the Death Coast.
Yeah, you dipped your toes in the Death Coast. You ate the very finest lobster from the Death Coast.
Now I know. So tell me, you are a third-generation shipwreck hunter.
Yeah.
How does this happen?
Oh, well, I think it was probably divine intervention, I guess. Who has a father who's a treasure hunter? Me. So hopefully my kids follow in my footsteps, too. It was a very unlikely career path, but it's normal to me. It was work to me. It was, you know, that's just what we did.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, I think that we've made a big impact in the world for what we've done. I mean, there's been several things that my father has done that has changed history, you know, as a whole. They didn't realize, for example, that they clipped New England coins that they were minted in Saugus, Massachusetts. Well, Dad found a shipwreck that they actually found clipped coins. So they, you know, you ever hear the weight of silver?
Yes.
Well, that was kind of where that came from. So hopefully we can continue on in his teaching or following what he started and change some history ourselves.
So this series follows you and your team doing these daring dives.
Yeah.
And really taking the audience on this incredible adventure.
Well, there's quite a few adventures to go on the Death Coast.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of aspects to the television show. It's not just the shipwrecks and the history aspects of it. My team are all former military, former police, former first responders, some of whom suffer from PTSD and traumatic brain injury. So what we're doing is we're creating a whole circle of camaraderie, and we're giving the team a specific mission. So going after these wreck sites, it's not safe. You know, what we do is not safe work. It's you have to be highly skilled, highly trained, and or out of your mind. So we kind of all fill every one of those categories.
It's riveting. The series is riveting. I wanted to ask then, there's estimated 25,000 shipwrecks in that area. You've been in there before. What are some of the things that you've pulled from the water that just is really interesting or fascinating to you?
Been there my entire life. Yeah. We've pulled, like, and not in the series here, but prior to the repeal of the Treasure Trove Act, I've seen things, religious items, things that would have been destroyed after a new pope, say, took power. I've seen wonderful golden medals that would have been handed to top military officials. I've seen Spanish gold, Incan gold, believe it or not, in Cape Breton. I've seen some amazing things.
It's almost like a history lesson every time you go down there.
It is a history lesson, and unfortunately, it's a history lesson that has a clock. We are dealing with some very severe weather patterns now with regards to global warming. Yeah. We have a lot of warming water, ocean acidification, and the wreck sites that I predominantly work on are they're inshore wreck sites. So they are high risk targets for severe weather. And ever since we had Hurricane Fiona about 3 or 4 years ago, I think 2021, I didn't realize just how bad it was until we got back on site this past summer. The places have been obliterated. There's nothing left. There's literally rock, stones, and if people like me don't step up and do something, there's not going to be any history left for the maritime side of things in Cape Breton and Nova Scotia.
So is that the driving force as to why you continue to do this with your team?
Well, that and working with the veterans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always been my dream, my thing. You know, I was a fisherman and a very unlikely friend to you know, people who were served in special forces and whatnot. But we have a lot more in common, I think, than people realize. I mean, I spent my life on the water fishing lobster and crab, and those aren't safe jobs either.
Yeah.
And I think we're naturally drawn to one another. So.
Well, congratulations on this series. I've met many people over the years, but I think you are my first shipwreck hunter that I've ever met. So
I'm the only Canadian treasure hunter.
You're the only treasure hunter. So this has been a real treat. And again, The Death Coast, it premieres today on USA Network and then tomorrow on Crave. Captain Jeff McKinnon, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.